किसी भी शख्स को समझने के लिए हमें उसका पास्ट समझना चाहिए. And yes, as I always say, I don't do partiality between humans and technology. So today I'm going to talk about LLMs, and I'm going to create a very detailed and descriptive video regarding the topics that backed up the LLMs. And I ensure this that all your questions will be answered today. So yes, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Haris and I post in-depth intuitions regarding the topics of artificial intelligence, machine learning and generative AI. And yes, sometimes Python too. So let's get started. So LLMs are a type of deep learning models and it refers to the large language models. They can understand our natural languages, they can predict the natural language, and they can guess the uh, sentences, they can summarize the sentences, they can translate our sentences into a different language. And there are so many use cases they or the LLMs can do. Okay, how they actually do this? This is our first question. So I'll say, like humans, how we do this. So we have brain, we have neurons that respond to a query. So likewise, LLMs or the deep learning have an architecture that we actually say artificial neural networks. So let me tell you, like this is, oh, sorry, uh, this is a neuron, okay? And whenever a question comes to the neuron, it actually processes internally something and gives the output. Okay, so this is how artificial neural network works. Okay, yeah, there are, if you like elaborate this, then there are so many neurons, and then we have the hidden network as well, or the hidden layer we can say. Okay, and then we have some output. There can multiple hidden layers. Okay, and then we can say like this. Okay, likewise we can process the information. Okay, but we are not going into such details currently. Okay, like this, like this. Okay, so this is the way of processing the data inside the artificial neural network. Okay, so this is the input layer. Okay, this is hidden layers. Okay, then we have the output layers here. So this is actually the artificial neural network. Then after artificial neural networks, then came the RNN or recurrent neural networks. Okay, this came into picture. Okay, so recurrent neural network. Then our researchers like found some ambiguity in RNNs. Okay, like RNNs cannot follow up the past memories. Okay, if it is a way past, then RNNs do not have this memory. Okay, then actually researchers invent one more thing, which is uh, LSTM RNN. Okay, then in LSTM RNNs we have like they have the capability to process the past data as well. So this actually refers to long short-term memory, short-term memory. Okay, so there are like a different layer for the uh, to capture the long short-term memory. Okay, which actually like later on. Okay, like these. So there are like different gates. Okay, in RNNs from where our data actually process. Okay, and then it comes to the output. So I'm not going into the deep. I will cover these topics but not now. Okay, I will cover later on when we will talk about the deep learning. Okay, after LSTM RNN, then came the encoder and decoder came into the picture. Encoder and decoder, they came into the picture. Okay, so encoder and decoder actually have multiple LSTM RNNs. Okay, multiple LSTM RNNs, and they actually make the encoder and decoders to a success. After this, one research paper came into the picture or launched to the market, which was attention all you need. Okay, क्या था research paper was, let me like so it one research paper came into market which was like attention all you need. Yeah, so I'm just going and telling you like very briefly how actually step by step from the deep learning we went to the LLMs. Okay, so here we found the transformers. Here we found the transformers. So transformers are nothing but there are like multiple encoders and decoders. Multiple encoders and decoders. Decoders. And after transformers, by using like this architecture, this transformer architecture, LLMs came into the picture. How actually LLM uh, got trained. Okay, so there was like data, a huge amount of data. So many books were there. So our deep learning model read all the books, and the data from the internet, like inserted into the models. So they processed all the data through the compute engines, through the GPUs, and there were like pre-processing steps as well. So like we break the sentences into the subwords, words into the subwords, and then we converted them into the numeric values. Okay, and I will tell you step by step when we'll talk about detail. Okay, so after converting those to the numerical values, then those numerical values like training, I am talking about the training now. Okay, so I can like change the color. Okay, so if I'm talking about the training, LLM training. Okay, so like there's data. Okay, then data gets converted into numerical values, or we can say weight. Okay, these are the numerical values which actually gets uh, processed through these type of networks. Okay, through these types of networks. Okay, and then when these will get captured here, there are like some type of forward propagation, forward propagation and backward propagation, backward propagation. Okay, so these backward and forward propagation is nothing but when we like processed our data, when we process our data through these neural networks. Okay, so when we process our data to forward, okay, from input to output, then it is known as the forward propagation. And when that data actually came back from back to forward, that is known as backward propagation. Okay, so after data, after like converting those into the numerical values, and we can say like this is weight. Okay, these weights actually known as the parametrical memory. Okay, so this is actually the model's parametric memory. Model's parametric memory. So this is the memory based on which LLM actually respond to our queries. Okay, so LLM provide responses with the help of parametric memory. Okay, so this is all we cover, like how the LLMs gives the output. Now we will talk about the LLM fine tuning. Okay, change the color of pen. Okay, so why actually fine tuning required? Okay, to train the LLMs, why the training is required? So as we know, like as we talked about the parametric memory, so LLMs have the cutoff training, cutoff training. Okay, they do not have the access to our private data, no access of private data. Okay, so like if you want to run LLMs on my specific or the private documents that I have created or my industry have created, like then I have to train or retrain my LLM model, or I have to fine tune my LLM model. Okay, so for that LLM fine tuning is required. Or if I am like talking about like who won yesterday's cricket match, but our LLM do not have that data. Okay, because the training happened last month, then we have to fine tune our LLMs. Okay, but this is very costly, so there are other ways that we will talk about further as we will move. Okay, so like this is the fine tuning of LLMs. Okay, fine tuning of LLMs is nothing but retraining the neurons. Okay, or retraining the numerical values. Okay, again backward and forward and backward propagation, we can say. Okay, so forward and backward propagation. So means LLMs works as deep learning model. Okay, so now we got to know like what are LLMs. Okay, how they came into picture. Okay, and how we can like how LLM actually works, how we can fine tune the LLMs. So these all data that we have covered here. Okay, and there are so many use cases like industry is actually leveraging the LLMs for. Okay, like I can talk about few examples, like text summarization. If I will talk about language or machine translation, language or machine translation. So likewise, like there are so many examples for this. Okay, this is all for today's video.